Hi, my name's Carol, and for the past 8 years, my family and I have been living on the road and off the grid. Along the way, I've taught myself how to cook in the great outdoors, over a fire or out of the back of the Jeep kitchen. And all kinds of crazy weather and extremely remote places. I learned how to make do with what we had in our fridge and to improvise accordingly. I learned cooking techniques and meal ideas from friends I've met along the way.
That's good.
I don't think this smile can get any bigger. Join me as I share our cooking adventures and tips for creating delicious meals for your family in the great outdoors. So it's been a rainy week that we've been having, and this morning we woke up to this glorious sunshine. So I thought I'd be making an early lunch for everyone because we're just doing little projects around the cabin and island. So lasagna it is. So I'm going to be making a zucchini lasagna, and this you can just it's at the end of the week, it's Saturday. I want to use up all my ingredients that are going to start to go bad, so it's the perfect recipe for that. And you can also use noodles. I just like using zucchini. The nice thing about this is you can cut them lengthwise to make like a long noodle, or if you want to like do a kind of more of a bowl style, you can dice it up and just mix everything together that way. I'm doing a mix of hot sausage and some beef. I'm going to cook up the sausage a little bit before I add the beef. The beef doesn't take as long. I'll just add the beef now that the sausage has had time to cook down. Just going to add a little bit of my Italian seasoning. But I also want to add fresh to that. Alright, I think the meat is done. I'm just going to take it off the fire. It smells so good. Just going to add some of the thyme and rosemary. pinch of garlic. You can also add whole garlic and let it cook together. I didn't have any. So I'm just going to rough cut the zucchini. So just kind of like that. Oops. That always smells amazing. Gives the onion a whole another flavor. I think it just elevates it. Some roasted my tomatoes just because I only had a half a can of tomato sauce. I'm sure it'll be delicious. Have a little bit of the campfire char to it. This is something that's super simple, and it'll just add so much more flavor than just getting it out of a can. Just gonna mix in my mushrooms. All right, let's build this and get it on the fire. Sometimes you can line your cast iron with some parchment paper, and you can also elevate it with a little cast iron plate. So this is obviously a lot of meat for one little Dutch oven, which is perfect on the weekends because I can put it away. We can make late night pizza or just some other type of meal, and it's already done for me, and it's one less step I have to do. I can just enjoy being outside, although I may use it. I'm only going to be doing 2 layers of zucchini, and it's going to be mainly the meat sandwiched in between the zucchini. Wow, the smell is amazing. Maybe I will use it all. I have some ricotta and Parmesan and some mozzarella. I love the texture of the ricotta on a meal like this. It just makes it so soft, but not overly cheesy. Just creamy. And this is an olive bruschetta. It's one of our family's favorites. Not a lot, just a touch of it. So you just kind of get a hint of the olives and oil from it. On pizza, amazing. Just gonna put on my last layer. Top it again with some of the ricotta and Parmesan. Ending with a little bit of the mozzarella. And there you have it. A super simple lasagna ready for lunch. And I forgot the tripod. I might need a tripod. Oh, the birds are out and singing today. So that will take about, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes and it'll be ready. So, bon appetit. So the nice thing about this meal, and our family has had it, oh my goodness, countless times out on the road and here at the cabin, is you can also, when you're doing your tomatoes and stuff, you can actually pre-cook your zucchini as well, or whatever, your noodles. Then it's, I mean, basically you're just putting it over the fire to melt the cheese. And it has been one of our family favorites on the trail and at the cabin. All different variations. It's basically whatever we have at the end of the week type of meal, and it always is just a crowd pleaser and super, super delicious. So hope you enjoy it. I'm just gonna heat up some buns to go with it. Maybe add some Parmesan cheese or olives to it. Put some thyme. Adding some fresh herbs to your bread, always just like, oh, it's amazing. Adds so much flavor. I can hear the lasagna boiling away. I don't need it to technically cook too much, so smells like it's almost there. So while that's cooking, I want to take you back to one of my favorite memories of making this meal. It was in the stunning Alabama hills of Eastern California. We found a beautiful spot next to a huge boulder and set up camp. We had been driving for several days down the Oregon and California coast, so we decided to stay here and enjoy the incredible scenery for a few days to rest up and do some hiking. After a wonderful day, it was time to make one of our favorite meals, zucchini lasagna. You can see in this case I used parchment paper in my cast iron. I usually do this in the desert or when water is fairly scarce. It works great and the cleanup is super easy. And as I always say, you can improvise with your recipe and use what you have. In this case, I used cottage cheese, Parmesan, and some Gouda. Delicious.
That's Dutch oven zucchini lasagna with fresh basil and Parmesan. You cannot beat that. We're sitting in a pretty epic place here, Alabama Hills of California, on the east side of the Sierras. Life is good.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Atlanta's been laying in the sun all day. It's so hot. Just a second ago,
With the leftovers, we should try out the new freeze dryer. That'd be perfect.
onion was done over the fire too, huh?
Nice.
Just right in the coals in there.
Have the tomatoes for it.
Good. I can't wait to do the garden and have a different
Oh.
variety.
Amen.
Or whatever that is, rosemary.
Having fresh herbs on any meal is such a difference.
A lot of your stuff's coming up here already, eh? Lots of good.
You want more butter?
No, I'm good. So my family and I have been traveling off, living on the road and off the grid. I'm gonna get the giggles. There's a big snake over there looking at me. Family and I have been living. Hi, my name's Carol. No. My eyes are watering. The snake is moving.